day. Although the days just run into one another now.
All the days are the days now. Every day is just today. Does that make sense? Every day is today. And today is the day we go live.
Happy half hour show with yours truly, Nomad and Lola.
Cheers.
Cheers, Lo. So the other day, funny story. I hate the email bug.
Sorry, get over it. You're the only person who
don't like the email bug.
Oh my God.
The other day, Lo was walking around the house. She had a drink, much like this one, and she's like,
"Are you gonna tell everybody?"
I'm like, Lo, slow down.
Long story short,
drinking it like a soda.
Long story short, it was a long night for me.
Yeah, you can't drink adult beverages like they're a soda.
No, it's not a good idea. It's. I mean, you can,
but there's consequences.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
And here we go.
Oh, okay. You ready?
Yes. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Here we go. You had it!
You missed it!
No, I didn't! You had it! I gave you the... That's your part.
Try it again.
So what? 1, 2, 3.
Got the money.
Yeah.
Like the money you said to do. But it can't replace the heartache that cost you.
Thankfully you
did. Tomorrow I'll be leaving. I know. 1 cup of coffee, and then I go. I got the money, like the money you said to do. But it can't replace the heartache that cost you. Oh, tomorrow I'll be leaving it. I know. Oh, 1 cup of coffee, and then I go. Judge night, before you judge yourself.
Oh, before you judge yourself.
Judge night, 'cause you're not ready for that judgment. No, the road to life is rocky, and you may stumble too. But while you're laughing at me, someone else is judging you. Come on,
stir it up.
What are we doing?
Oh yeah, little darling, stir it up. We'll stir it up, baby.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stir it up.
Little darling, stir it up.
Oh yeah, whoa, whoa.
So listen, it's been a long, long time since I've had my mind on you. Now that we are here together, I got a couple of things we can do. Stir it up. Little darling, stir it up. Whoa. Come on now, stir it up. Little darling, stir it up.
Whoa, you know what you do. Put the lime and the coconut, mix it all up. Put the lime and the coconut, mix it all together. Put the lime and the coconut, mix it all up. Put the lime and the coconut and what?
I like that, Lo.
Stir it up. Oh,
stir it up. Little Lola, stir it up.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. Stir it up. Oh, I forgot. You can't judge yourself.
Before you judge yourself.
Judge not. 'Cause you're not ready for that judgment. No, the road to life is rocky, and you may stumble too. While you're laughing at me, someone else is judging you. While you're laughing Here's judging you.
Some Marley mixed with her favorite group,
Sublime. You know, I wouldn't be a real California native, especially a real SoCal native, if I didn't love Sublime.
True.
And I do.
And I wouldn't be a real Van Halen fan if I didn't love. I wouldn't be a real New Yorker if I wasn't a Van Halen fan. But ironically, Van Halen is from out here.
Yeah,
that doesn't work.
Okay, fun story
Dang
time. Story time with Lola. Once upon a time, Van Halen, before they were Van Halen. In fact, it was back when they were Montrose.
You have two stories.
I got a lot of Van Halen stories, but they played in my dad's backyard in high school. And yeah, that happened.
That did happen. And then another time.
And this one time, Eddie hit on me over the phone, but then I was
Eddie Van Halen hit on her.
I call him Eddie.
Like, what, Eddie?
Yeah, that happened too, but you know, who cares about that?
All right, Ed.
What up, guys? Bill Oakley's in the house.
Oaks.
What up? We
Oaks.
got K-Flies.
K-Flies. Love it. We got
Hey,
Peoples. Hey,
Hi.
how you doing?
Hi.
Even if we didn't have Peoples, we would play to you because it's important to keep our what?
Chops up?
Our chops up? But
This
no, I was
is
gonna say
not-
our like, our spirits up. Thank you. Jeez, I couldn't think of my words.
I
Thank
know
you
what
for
you were
joining
saying.
us for the happy half hour show. Nomad Lola here to go. And an announcement.
Oh, I like that.
An announcement. Our music is streaming everywhere. Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, which is really Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer. Not that anybody listens to Deezer, but it's there.
Who listens to Deezer?
Deezer. I want to know who uses Deezer.
Yeah.
But
Who are
it's
you?
there. Anyway, it's everywhere. And I even believe it's in Pandora. If it's not in Pandora, it's coming up in Pandora.
Hello, Miss Minor.
Yes.
Good to see you. Yes, it's in Pandora.
Oh,
We're in
we
Pandora.
made it?
Finally.
Jeez, because
You
Pandora
guys.
has the most stringent submission
Cracked the code.
protocols.
I just applied. No. Anyway, hello, welcome. This is your weekly dose of music history, some music entertainment, and all things Nomad and Lola.
Some silliness. The
That's
drink
right.
of the week is
The Steer It Up.
Stir It Up in honor of Mr. Marley.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me.
All right, because this week in music history, in fact, it was April 13th, 1973. You were just but a baby when Bob Marley came out. Well, Bob Marley and the Wailers came out with Catch a Fire, which actually was their first album on Island Records, and it ended up being, which arguably is like the best reggae album of all time.
Only from the master of reggae himself.
I mean, it's only the best ever.
Yeah, I mean, like, geez, can you imagine life without like Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, the Stones, the Beatles? It would be so weird if we didn't have these iconic artists.
Life would suck.
It would.
Yeah,
it would.
without those guys.
So thank God we've had them.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
thanks for coming.
Yeah.
So that being said, this album broke records because they were the first to release their singles as long playing records.
Oh, right.
All right. So as opposed to getting a two-sided album, that's not what you got with them. So they kind of got a little bit more extended play. If you think about how people make money off of music these days, in those days, it was per unit sold.
Right.
So if you sold them individually, like
Right.
people break it down now, they were the kind of starting something that they didn't even know.
Which is where the acronym LP came from, long play.
Oh, you just blew my mind. No, I should have known that.
Oh.
I should have known that. What's the difference between an EP and an LP? Because an EP is shorter than an LP.
What's so interesting, EP is called extended play, LP is called long play. I think it's the opposite.
Right.
Seems like extended would be even longer, but anyway.
Us silly musicians.
Yeah, I don't know. They must have been doing a lot of coke and booze back then because who
There
the
are
hell came up
children
with that?
watching. No.
Oh, sorry.
You got a. By the way,
Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola.
I would like to apologize for my dirty mouth last week.
Oh my goodness, Lo. It was kind of.
I know.
Yeah.
It's only been my 5th week of being in the house. At some point, you break.
Yeah. What else you got for me in trivia?
All right. This week in music history is. All right, it's actually kind of a cool thing. It's a twofer.
Tell
How
me.
about this? I'm going to give you a twofer today. So this week in music history, it was April 14th, 1964. And the Rolling Stones released their first ever album in the UK.
Really?
And it went number 1. All right? It went number 1. Now, 2 weeks later, Okay, well, hold on. It went number 1 in 2 weeks, and it was on the chart for 40 weeks. And out of those 40 weeks, it was number 1 for 11.
Wow.
So they did good on their debut. But here's the cool part. 7 years later, almost to the very same date, April 13th, 1971, is when the Rolling Stones released Brown Sugar off of their brand new record label. And that's also when they introduced the iconic lips and tongue-licking logo. So that happened this week in music history. Thank you, Rolling Stones.
That's awesome.
Yes,
Incredible.
and since we mentioned the Rolling Stones, I figured we would sing something because you know what, guys? We miss you.
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, I like that. We miss you.
We miss people.
We do miss people.
You should see me when I walk down the street and I see people in their house. I'm like, hi, I see you, human being. Hi, I'm here too. Ooh, 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 ooh. Whoa, oh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. Whoa, oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I've been holding on so long. I've been sleeping all alone, but I miss you. I've been hanging on the phone. I've been sleeping all alone. I want to kiss you. Oh, yes, I do. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, yeah. Well, I've been haunted in my sleep. You've been starring in my dreams, but I miss the show, yeah. I've been hanging down the hall. I've been waiting for your call. But when the phone rings, well, it's some friends of mine, and they say, hey, what's the matter, Lola? We're gonna come around with this cute and nomad who's just died to meet you. We'll drink tequila and some wine. Ooh, have a real good time and party just like they used to. Ooh, 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 ooh.
How many clues can you get in there? I like it. You ready to take this to the bridge?
I thought you'd never ask. Oh, baby, why you waiting so long?
I'm not waiting. I'm ready.
I know you don't like waiting. Oh, baby, come on, play me my song. Why don't you take your shot? Come on. Oh, everybody's waiting so long. Oh, baby, come on, play me my song.
We go home.
Oh, baby, why you waiting so long? Oh, baby, come on, play me my song. Why don't you take your shot? Come on.
No, no. Why you make me wait so long?
Oh, baby, come on, play me my song. Why don't you take those shots? Come on. Are you taking your shots?
Salute. Happy half hour,
Hi, Ivy.
That was
Good
nice,
to see
though.
you. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Let me look on Facebook. Well, hello, Mr. Sims. That means we have Abby. Hi, Abby. Hi, Abby.
Hey, Abs. How you doing?
That's our youngest fan, by the way.
Yep. Abigail, was she 3 or 4?
She just turned 4.
Wow.
She's a big girl
Oh,
now.
man, that's right. We had to have an extended faraway birthday party. Yeah.
You know what? We are having an extended everything.
Extended
And
faraway everything.
until further notice, we are just gonna, entertain you from home.
That's right.
That's what we're gonna do.
So what we got?
All for free. Next in music history. How about this, guys? In 1974, April 13th, Elton John was #1 with Benny and the Jets. Now, here's the thing, guys. It was his second ever #1, and he was kind of dead set against releasing it as a single. Did you know that?
I wonder why.
He thought it was going to be a failure. He honestly did not believe in this song. And believe it or not, it went #1 in the Detroit markets, which then, of course, led everybody else to jump on board and add it to their playlist. So, yes, it became #1 here this week in music history. You know it. Come on. Benny, 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 Benny and the Jets.
Man, what a great tune.
Sing it at home. Come on. Benny, 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 Benny and the Jets. Come on, Benny. I'm not even gonna try because you know what? It's a good one. And Elton's voice is just so smooth. It's like butter. It's like hot knife through butter. It's just so good. Gonna keep playing. I can't say have you seen? Ooh, but they're so spaced out. Look at Benny and the Jets.
Man, what a great tune.
She's got electric moves. Something boots.
Something boobs? I mean boots.
You know I read it in a magazine. No. But Benny and the Jets. Oh, so good. So good. So this was a good week in music history, honestly.
I mean, what a great tune. The crazy part is you would never even put those chords together like normally.
No? Give us a little music lesson, Nomad.
Well, it's a G major 7, which means it has the sharp 7, which is G, B, D, with a major 7, which is F sharp. So it's the... I love when she does this because I know she just tunes out.
I'm working on my listening face.
It's a terrible listening face. It's GBD. It's a triad, a major triad. GBD, right? So we have GBD.
Pause. I'm much better at this when I'm a host. Right. Tell me more.
Okay, 1, 3, 5 is the GBD major triad, but then we add the F sharp major 7. So 1, 1, 3, 5, 7. But then we go a whole step down. 1, 3, 5, 7. So then it becomes an F, A, C, which is an F major triad with an E natural on top, which is the major.
That was great, Nomad. I am so glad that you joined us here today. I just wanted to give a little shout out to Cindy. We're so happy you joined us.
Wow.
No.
You just wanted to do that.
Here's the funny thing. That is true.
You miss your Monster Jam days. I can tell.
I kind of miss being a mobile microphone. Yeah. I do. But the truth is I do listen. It's just I listen to a lot of things when somebody else is talking on the microphone. I'm listening to this ear and to this ear, and then somebody back here.
So like I was saying, the tritune substitution.
Minus the Y. Carry the major divided by the time frame.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really bad at music theory.
You're really bad at math and music.
Hey, I beat you at Common Core.
You're way better at me than math.
Turns out I'm not so bad at Common Core math. Yeah. I'm one of those weirdos that's like, oh, I get it. Yeah. I mean, I don't, but I do. It's weird.
Anybody struggling with their kids at home school? Right? I mean,
anybody struggling with their kids at home? Show of hands. Anybody else drinking themselves crazy? Here's the thing. The truth is
only one day a week.
Right, only Wednesdays. Everybody's drinking at work. That's the thing right now. Everybody is drinking, like all day.
That's crazy.
We're doing it as a nation, so I feel it's very patriotic.
Oh, that's nuts.
He's like, that's nuts. This week in music history.
What's up?
Not too long ago, actually, 2003. We were trying to find a way where people couldn't steal music like music files. Do you know Rhapsody?
Rhapsody and what's the other one? LimeWire. But
Jamie, I used to put so many viruses on your computer. I'm so sorry.
The original one that the kid made.
The original one that the kid made.
It was a young kid in his bedroom that he made it.
Survey says, anybody? Does anybody know what he's talking about?
I'm talking about? It's not. It's before Rhapsody. I think it's the original Rhapsody. What is that?
I thought it was Rhapsody or LimeWire. Come on, guys, help us out. Hey, Matt, what up? Happy hump day to you.
Yes, I thought there was a different name for it.
Anyway.
Geez. If anybody can think of it, please let me know.
If anybody can think of it, we will give you a prize right now. I will mail it when you can mail things again. All right, so my point is, this week in music history, Madonna struck back at websites that were pirating music illegally. And so she was really covering up her new album, which was called American Life. And like even critics and journalists, like nobody got their hands on the album except for like hours before the release, right? So she would put out these files, these decoy files into these systems.
Right.
And when the user would download the file and open it up, it would be Madonna's voice saying, "What the are you doing?" And that's it.
Pretty awesome.
It was just her voice saying, "What the are you doing?"
That's awesome.
So it was her way of scolding. Yeah. I loved it. I wish I got that file. Jamie, do you have that file on your computer?
You should, because she downloaded it.
I did. I probably gave you way too many viruses. But the computer viruses.
That's awesome. And did anybody chime in yet? What's the name of that?
What's the name of the Napster?
Napster. Thank you.
Ivy,
oh my gosh.
You win. DM us your
yes, I think it's Evie. You keep saying it with an I, but it's E.
What did you say? Nomad. I'm terrible with names.
It's Napster. Thank you.
You win a prize. Send us your address. I promise. We will send you a prize.
DM. Yeah.
Like I promise you.
No, she's got lots of cool stuff.
You're getting something in your mailbox.
She's got cool merch. I promise you, we got some cool Nomad Lola merch.
We do actually have some really cool merch. We just don't ever talk about it. But
what is interesting is that the mail is delivered still. You know, I mean,
I see our mailman every morning.
Yeah.
I wave hello. I thank him for being out there.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I think they're wearing gloves now.
Yes.
I think it depends on the person.
You know. Anyway, moving on. Here's something that's fun.
Tell me.
This week in music history,
tell us.
I will tell you and all of you. Hello. This week in music history. What? Do you remember the song? How much is that doggy in the window?
It's like one of my mom's favorite songs.
Waggly tail.
Oh.
You don't. Oh, come on.
My mom loves that stuff.
How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. That was number one this week in music history. 1953, you guys. So happy and wholesome. And now we're listening to music like, you know. I don't even
ratchet,
need to say.
Straight up ratchet.
Ratchet girls, ratchet. Give me some. That's number one this week. But this week in music history, 70 years ago? My God, 70 years ago. Basically, I'm rounding up.
Totally different scenario.
How much is that dog in the window? There was no innuendo in that either. It was pretty obvious. It was like, she's buying a dog.
Buying a puppy, like a real dog puppy.
Yeah.
Literally.
She just wants to know how much it is.
There's no. Wow.
You know, here's the funny thing. My mom is looking for a black lab. If anybody knows of any doggies that match that description, she is looking for one. So, yeah, I was able to work that in, Mom. You're welcome. So, this week in music history, Frank Sinatra and Nancy Sinatra had the first ever #1 single as a father-daughter duo. How about that? Now, here's the thing. The song is Something Stupid.
Interesting name, first of all.
No, I mean, it's stupid. No, I'm just kidding. That is the name of the song. But I have to be honest. I can see why a lot of father-daughters do not cover it. Because it's kind of a romantic song, you know? So it's not something that I really want to sing to my child.
How's it go again? I think I remember it.
Gosh. The chorus is, and then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like, I love you.
Right.
Yeah. You know.
Right.
Nancy, we still love you and all that you do. And Frank, obviously, the one-take wonder. Good old blue eyes. Amazing. You could do no wrong. But in this day and age, that would be very wrong.
Oh, you know who did a nice cover of that, though?
Oh.
She and Him, I think.
No, actually,
Yeah.
another father-daughter duo did cover it, and it was the guy from UB40 and his daughter.
Oh, okay.
She and him probably did it, but you know what? They're a couple, aren't they?
But it seems like
Maybe they're not a
I
couple.
don't know, but
They're not like us.
Right. But the lyric, and then I went and said something stupid like "I love you." That is totally couples related.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
You would never say that to your daughter. Of course,
Never.
you love your daughter.
You would
I love
never
you,
say
honey,
that to your daughter.
but you mean it in a very familial way. I love you, honey. You know, you're my angel, my
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah. There's never a wrong moment to
Totally
say
different.
I love you to your daughter.
Exactly.
So, you know.
Bizarre.
But in that time, they could do no wrong. Remember, they were they were all perfect in the '60s with their martinis and their cigarettes.
Yeah, and no seatbelts. I love the fact that they were drinking, smoking, and driving without seatbelts while we were all growing up.
And eating out of a can.
Thanks, everybody from that generation.
My, we've come a long way, haven't we?
Right.
Moving on. This week in music history, it's actually I wasn't going to include it, but I am now because I drank enough. So
Drankin is a new word.
Drankin enough. But no, it's a real piece of music history. It's kind of sad, but it's true. This week, April 18th in 1984, Michael Jackson was undergoing surgery for some severe burns that he got for the Pepsi commercial.
That, yeah.
And some think that is what started his painkiller addiction, which obviously ultimately led to his demise. Now, it's very sad. It did happen this week in music history, but the reason why I bring it up was because a friend of ours sent us a picture recently of me in the Michael Jackson movie.
That's right.
It was funny because I kind of forgot that I was in it. And then when I saw that I was in it, I was like, oh my God, I should have really put makeup on that day. I'm in the Michael Jackson movie and I look like a troll. So if you don't recognize me in that movie, it's okay.
You look like a troll. You just look natural, which is beautiful.
I look natural. I love you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Natural
Thank
woman.
you, Erskine, by the way. Shout out to Erskine.
Yeah, he's all, this girl looks familiar, but she kind of looks like a troll version of your wife.
He didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He said, this looks familiar, and then he screenshotted it to me. All right.
Anyway, here's another cool piece of music history. This week in music history, I'm rolling right through this, by the way. I like this. Wham! Exclamation point. I think that's how you say the name, right? That was a joke. Okay. Sorry. Nobody else laughed. It was a joke. They made music history this week because they were the first ever pop act to not only visit China, but to also release their album in China. And that was in 1985.
1985? Are you sure
the
about
first
that?
Western pop act.
You're sure?
Yes, I
The
checked
Beatles
it.
didn't
Google
tour
it.
China.
Google it.
Hold on a minute. You tell me the Beatles didn't tour China?
No.
None of Motown toured China?
No.
The Motown acts?
No.
Are you sure?
Maybe Tokyo. Is Tokyo China?
That's Japan.
Yeah, that's not China.
Interesting. Wow.
Well, remember, China had a very strict, thing going on back then.
They were kind of communist-ish.
Well, they were kind of.
They were calm.
They were a little communist back then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting.
Google it. Go look it up. Wham! Is the first ever Western pop act to enter into China and release their album.
All right.
They were on a 10-day visit where they were taking a break for creative reasons. But that's cool. That's
totally
cool.
Interesting and cool.
So which is Wham? Oh, that's a
George
wake me
Michael.
up before you
Go.
go. 'Cause I'm not hanging on the line, so don't. I don't know the words. Gosh, sorry. I make up my own lyrics.
Never a big Wham fan myself.
You weren't a Wham fan?
No.
That's just fun to say.
Yeah. But Wham came out when you were born, so how would you even know what Wham is?
Cindy, did you like Wham? Please tell us you liked Wham. We need some Wham fans here.
Cindy. Miss you guys.
Wrong Cindy, but that's okay.
Oh.
I'm sure that other Cindy's washing and watching
and
at the same time. Cheers.
All right, this little stirred up got there. Well, I kind of did down it.
You downed it. I didn't do that.
I kind of downed it.
Happy birthday, Herbie Hancock.
I love Herbie Hancock.
We have no songs of yours that we know.
Man,
Zero.
First of all, what's so cool? Well, hold on. What's so cool about Herbie Hancock is he was a jazz master, like a piano jazz giant. It still is. But what I'm saying, but then he transitioned to pop music when he did the geez, what was that album? I think he did it in mid '80s as well. Like boom bam. Boom, bam, boom, bam, bam, bam. I can't remember the name of that song, and it was on MTV, and it was all like this robotic musicians playing different instruments. It was really cool. Anyway,
I'm trying to think of it.
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I know exactly.
Yeah,
I can hear it.
Anyway, what was really cool about Herbie Hancock is I love that as a musician, a composer, producer myself. I love the fact that he was able to go to blur the lines in and out of genres, seamlessly.
Always.
Yeah. And to this day, he respects, of course, jazz and classical, but he also respects pop and everything, hip hop, pop.
I met Herbie Hancock once through Bill Oakley.
Oh yeah.
And if you ever needed another reason to not like Kanye West, Kanye was such a dick to Herbie Hancock, and I was so like,
that's
what?
So ridiculous.
Like, what are you?
You're talking about a freaking legacy artist.
Yeah.
Herbie is.
Yeah.
You can't be like that. Yeah.
Speaking of legacy,
tell me.
Another artist. Happy birthday to the Reverend Al Green.
What?
There are so many songs that he does.
I know.
And I'm gonna try to do this one. I'm so in love with you. Whatever you wanna do, it's alright by me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. I wanna spend my life with you, baby. Let's stay together, loving you weather. Times are good or bad, happy or sad. Let's stay together, loving you weather. Times are good and bad, happy or sad. Good and bad, happy or sad. Good and bad, happy or sad.
Nice, Lo. The Reverend himself, Mr. Al Green. Thank you so much for all the amazing music you brought to this world.
Oh, such love and such happiness. See what I did there?
I did.
So much of it. And you know what? The other one is, but I don't know it as good, but it's an anthem. It's funny. Like, you know how you get like one part of a song stuck in your head?
Go for it.
I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of on my own. Won't you help me, baby, as fast as you can?
Oh, man.
Oh, like again and again and again. It's so much of it. So I should rehearse it. I shouldn't just try to do it.
No, I'm trying to figure out the chords.
I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of on my own. Won't you help me, baby, as fast as you can? I don't know if those are the lyrics either. I'm sorry. I might be embarrassing myself.
I'm just making up chords and stuff.
Yeah. I do know because my mom did play a lot of music. I don't know if you watched last week, but I divulged a story of when my mom tried to turn me on to the Beatles, and I was totally like, what's that? And now I know that that's my favorite band ever. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know this? Okay, you remember the song, gosh, I wish I had a horn. Does that sound right? I guess.
Yeah,
I'll try. Baby, baby, it looks like it's gonna help. Baby, baby, it looks like it's gonna help. Baby, won't you come? Won't you teach me how to jive well?
Jump, jive, and well?
Yeah.
Who did that?
Well, that's Brian Setzer. No, it's Brian Setzer.
Yeah, but originally, who did it?
Oh, God, I don't know now.
Okay.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
Hey.
Sorry. Shoot.
Just think of little Abigail.
I'm sorry, Abigail. All right. Anyway, so that whole big band movement, that whole kind of that came
that
back.
might have been like Fats Waller, or it was like an old 1940s.
I'm not sure,
artist, yeah.
But it really it came back because it was actually from like the 50s, the 40s, the whole big band
like
kind
way
of thing.
back, yeah.
So have you heard of Perez Parado? Have you heard of that? Parado?
Excuse me.
Am I saying that wrong?
Yeah.
You heard of him? Have you? You keep saying yes, but then I don't.
Kind of,
listening.
But not really. But
Okay.
maybe.
Okay. Well, have you heard of Mambo Number 5?
Of course.
Right.
It's
Mambo
Lou Vega.
Number 5.
Yeah, Lou Vega.
Did you know that he was German?
I totally thought he was Italian or Spanish.
He's German, you guys.
I thought he was Latin.
Well, happy birthday to Lou Vega.
All right.
Mr. Mambo 5 yourself.
Is it B with a B Vega as in boy, or V as in Victor?
Well, it's spelt with a B. But those Latins, they like to say
Latinos,
vanilla.
Vega.
I love
Vega.
vanilla ice cream. Would you like some vanilla?
I would love some vanilla.
Carlos, I miss you, man, from center staging.
Oh, wow.
He would always offer vanilla ice cream, and I would always laugh. Like, yes, I would love some vanilla. Please give me that.
Vanilla.
Happy birthday, Miss Linda Perry. I mean, talk about, songwriting greatness.
This is songwriting royalty. She's the one who looks like Slash, but female version with dreads.
God, you would never say that to her face. She's a gorgeous woman.
No, she's gorgeous.
She's all woman.
Because she wears the top hat like Slash.
Yeah,
so
back in the 90s. She doesn't wear that anymore.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
I didn't mean it as a diss. I mean, I think it's cool. Like, she's a mashup.
Do you guys know who Linda Perry is? Looking over here. Rudy, do you know who Linda Perry is?
Rudy tuned out. Rudy's like...
Rudy tuned out. Rudy's over at his home saying, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? That's who it is anyway, guys. That's Linda Perry. She's that song is from the Four Non Blondes, which is the band that she was in. But she's a huge singer-songwriter. Huge. And she's a BA, man. Like, she is badass. I gotta say.
Do that again.
I said, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. I said, hey, what's going on?
That sounds like a little bit like Axl Rose. Nice.
It was a little Steven Tyler, but
Steven Tyler, Axl Rose / Linda Perry.
That's what happens when you drink a stir it up. Anyway.
And what a great tune. That is kind of cool. You can get lost in that.
It's such a good song.
No, but imagine singing that on stage in front of like 80,000 people.
Oh, shut up.
That's where you get lost.
I just got chills because I can imagine them all singing
That's
it back.
crazy, yeah.
That's one of those where you can just shut off the mic.
What's
and
really
everybody's
cool
singing.
about it, right, is because no matter which country you're in, no matter which language, it's universal.
Yeah,
so
we can all say hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's really cool. It's very cool. You can just see everybody holding their lighters or now they're
Yes, and swinging. Now, I'm going to list some other songs that she wrote. She also wrote Beautiful by sung by Christina Aguilera, which I mean, you are beautiful every single day. Words can't bring me down. Oh, it's beautiful.
You should learn that, and I'll back you up.
I need to do my Christina impression. That wasn't it, but I should do it. She also wrote "Get the Party Started" by Pink. Now you keep playing Black Eyed Peas, but that's not the song. It goes like this.
Let's get it started in here.
It's not that
Let's get it started in here.
It's not that one.
I just think that when I hear "Let's get it started," I mean the party's whatever.
The song is "Get the Party Started,"
Okay.
and the chorus goes, "I'm coming up, so you better get this party started. I'm coming up, so you better get this party started." Yeah, that's how it goes.
Get this party started
On a Saturday night, everybody's chilling as they wait to arrive. Pumping up the volume to this brand new beat. We'll be turning on as I check out the scene. I'm your operator, you can call anytime. Anyway, yeah, that's how it goes. It's cool. I love it. I really do.
flamenco version of Pink.
Why not? Why not? You know, Pink would dig it.
Yeah, well, she's cool.
Pink is cool.
I mean, I don't know her
AF.
personally, but I know some of her band members. But just seeing her interaction on social media,
She
stuff,
takes
seems
care
really
of her
cool, yeah.
band. She takes care of her neighbors. Pink,
So awesome.
you're amazing.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Chance the Rapper, happy birthday. And that's our show.
Really?
Good night.
Pink is amazing. Chance the Rapper, happy birthday. And that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, go download this song.
Go download.
I mean,
this song.
stream this song. It's our song. Nothing to do. Stream it everywhere. Nothing to do. Spotify, Apple Music, and whatnot. But listen, make a video of yourself doing stuff and send it to us so we can include it.
Start this over. Hey, Rudy, yes, it is the chick with the nasty dreads. Yes, it is. Start this over. And Diana, who doesn't love Pink? Okay, so Rudy now wants a Pink, Wham, and don't forget
Herbie Hancock mashup.
We're on it.
We're on it.
Next week.
You know what, Rudy? If you stop sending me film pieces of the score, maybe I can find some time to produce some music.
Pause, guys.
No, but I love scoring your film stuff, so keep sending it.
Rudy and Nomad have a badass song coming out
it's pretty
soon.
cool.
I was watching it the other day. It's dope. Excuse me, Amber. It's dope. It is so cool. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you, Lola. And Rudy Machenga, a filmmaker extraordinaire, art director extraordinaire. We made a band called Why Now? And it's a bunch of old guys from Burbank. It's a Burbank dad's band. And we called it Why Now? But you know what? Why the F not now? So anyway, the first song we have is called Manners, and it's coming out. Not to be confused with the Nomad Lola new single called Nothing to Do, available everywhere, streaming now.
Right now.
On Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, and everywhere else you can play imaginary songs in your head. Now, here's what we need you to do, folks.
Send us your videos.
We need videos of you doing silly stuff or whatever it is. We all got nothing to do, so whatever you're doing around the house to stay busy. I don't care if you're walking in a neighborhood.
Are you making a puzzle? Are you playing Jenga? Are you
cooking
Uno?
a new dish? Whatever. Yeah.
We do not want to see what you're doing in the bathroom. I can. Can you? I bet you can. So let's see it.
There you
On
go.
a video.
And we're going to release a video soon, and you never know. Your little excerpt might be included in our music video.
Kick it, Rudy says.
Kick it.
By the Rudy, you're going to help us edit that video.
Yeah, Rudy just doesn't know it yet. You're editing that shit, bro.
It's funny because it's true.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, we love you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just sitting on an empty route,
Trying to find my spot.
baby, I'm a hippie, smoking a light.
Wasted away, certainly, yes. I mean, not
I've got peace of mind.
holding on to dreams that were always mine.
Don't know where this road will lead.
To the land of honey, baby, follow me.
With nothing to do, too many to do.
I got nothing to do.
With nothing to do, too many to do.
I got nothing to do.
How about you? Well, there's a lot of vacuuming going on, right?
Right, exactly.
A lot of cleaning.
We can go out, no we can't, but just stay home. We gotta stay home.
That sounds good to me, so I'm not alone.
Maybe paint the bathroom or fix that sink.
Anything you like, as long as I can have a drink.
I've got all the supplies.
New cheese and crackers with a sweet red wine.
Don't be sorry if the job never gets done.
We're just chilling and having some fun. With nothing to do.
I got nothing to do.
Nothing to do. I got nothing to do.
Hello, love.
Come on. regret? Probably not. With nothing to do, I got nothing to do. With nothing to do, I got nothing to do. With nothing to do, I got nothing to do. With nothing to do, we got nothing to do.
And that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around next time for the Nomad Lola Happy Hour Show coming at you 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every hump day. That's right. Next week, we love you. Have a drink on us and stay true and isolated.
Yes.
Not sure what
And wash your hands.
And everything else.
You filthy animal.
That's pretty good, Lo. I like
Drop
that.
the mic. Bye. Toodaloo. See you later. Thanks for coming.